All right, Lisa. So tell me about your first deal. You just completed your first deal. Where the buyer come from? How was it? How did it go?
Well, actually, this buyer walked up on Sasha and myself while we were out showing houses to another client. And he was in town for the weekend out of California, and he was looking at homes. And so he just walked up on us. I'm like, does this happen all the time, Sasha? He was like, no, not really. This is kind of a one off. So took his information and everything, and we ended up calling him back, and he agreed to work with us. So the conversation initially started off with Sasha, and it was a handoff to myself. So
Yep.
um, that was pretty cool. I thought this is exciting. Really, you get clients just by being out, but yes, you do.
Yeah.
You could
So
be at the open
sometimes
house, you
you.
could be at new construction, and
Mhm.
somebody could just walk up on you and they don't have a realtor. You got to be ready.
Yeah. A lot of times, just putting yourself in the middle of the work of doing the business and helping people, other people come up to you. I mean, it happens. It happens all the time, more than people think it does. I'll be at a new construction site, shooting a YouTube video to put on our channel, and then the people next door or across the street will wave at you, and you go strike up a conversation. Next thing you know, you're listing their house or something. So it works. In fact, in fact, if I remember this correctly, I was getting a haircut and my phone rung and it was another buyer, and I just sent them to you, and I said, "Lisa, go take care of this, right?" And you did, and then he's like, "Hey, Sash, come with me," and I went over there, and then we ran into this guy, but you're still
Mm-hmm.
shopping at other buyer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just put yourself in the work, people, and it works out. It really does.
I'm gonna have to get out of this nice, cozy environment and go outside.
Yeah. So you talk about the nice cozy environment. Let's talk about the environment right now. How do you feel about not having a real estate office and the fact that we work virtually? Because we're a virtual team. EXP is a virtual brokerage. How do you feel about that? How's that working out for you?
It's pretty convenient most times. I would say most of the time because if I need something, you're a phone call away. EXP is few types away, and so if I need anything at any time, I know I can call you. I can even call Vaughn, our other team member, and ask her. She's been a help in the last transaction. She helped me out when you were on, out of town at the
Hmm.
conference.
Hmm.
And so it's like a team effort. And so it's not just a team effort within Chapman, but you have EXP World. And so you have another resource, and like Money Badgers, you have other resources that you can pull on and get assistance, if you need to.
Yeah.
But I don't mind not having to go into the office. I like my space and I'm very comfortable in it.
Yeah. I'm more productive here. And I've noticed what you've done in your space. You did your own video about your home office, and you're pulling things and putting stuff together, stuff you can't do. And well, you could do it, I guess, at a real estate office, but you're gonna pay for it. You
Mhm.
pay 700, 600 some dollars a month for a tiny space, and you can just do that at the house.
And then you got to get up and go. And I'm like, here I can just get up, hit my computer, and I can do what I need to do.
Right, 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 right.
And I can keep my charts. I mean, you got the whiteboards, Sasha. You the like the master of whiteboards, and so I mimicked it a little bit. it's
I, I,
it's in the
I mean
beginning
that comes from my previous training. That comes
stages.
from the Lean Six Sigma stuff back in the day. So let's talk about that. Your previous training, okay, being in banking, how has that helped you in your transition into real estate?
Well, I guess the most recent part of it that helps me is um, in banking it had turned into a sales environment,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I'm not a salesy person. But the requirement was to make so many calls per day to reach out to clients and to follow up with those clients. And so that was my biggest challenge there. It's still a challenge to me now, but I know what I have to do. It has to be done. And so, and in order to make progress, you're gonna have to make the calls, you have to make the dials, you have to get busy.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, and follow up is very, very important
Right.
because if you don't follow up, that client can be, taken or gotten, somebody else can get them because you slacked and said, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna call them today, and when you
Right.
do call them back, they were like, no, I went with someone else. You're like, dang, I should have called yesterday, you know,
Yep.
and so you miss it and you learn like you really can't sleep on these leads, you really got to call
Yep. Everybody's new lead is somebody else's old lead.
them.
It happens with me all the time. Or the lead, you don't try to overcome the objection and you don't say what you know you need to say to get them to actually put an offer that's going to work, or what you need to say and challenge them, whether it's
Right.
a FISBO or expire their way of thinking so you can get the listing. Because if you won't say it, the next person will. I mean, here's the thing: all we get told is no. We've been told no our entire lives, and we will continue to get told no. So don't be afraid to go ahead and get that no. And I can see a change in you. I can see the growth in you. Like, it's happened very, very rapidly. You and I was talking about that the other day, and the fact that your mindset, I thought would take about a year to get there. Oh no, oh no, your mindset shifted really fast, and that's a good thing. I'm proud of you to see that.
Oh, well, thanks. But I've
Right.
learned that I can't be passive. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you have the information that somebody needs, don't keep it to yourself. Open up the conversation, open up the dialogue.
Right.
Don't
Right.
ask those closed-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions so you can keep the conversation going. That way, you get to know them, they get to know you, and you can give them some information and some insight that they didn't have before
Right.
they talk to you.
And then close the deal.
Yeah,
Be comfortable and confident to close the deal and ask for the business. I'll see agents who will talk to people for a whole hour, and not once do they ask for the business.
I know. I got in trouble for that with you. I had this whole conversation with a lady about her home and how much she loved it and how much she didn't want to sell it. And you were like, "Well, what happened?" I was like, "Yeah, it was a nice conversation, but she didn't want to sell a home."
I mean, I
And you
wasn't
were
trying to
like, "Did
call
she
you
have
out
anybody else?"
specifically.
Yeah, I was like, "It was just fun chit chatting, but that's
Yeah,
that's
but you
not
you
gonna get
did
the
get
deal."
her entire information, her DNA, her social, and everything.
It was awesome, but no sale, nothing came out of it, no referral. So I had to
But you,
rethink about how much time I spend just chit chatting with people.
yeah, but also you thought about that particular situation, and I know you played that scenario over differently in your head, and you would have
Yeah.
had better objections. Yeah.
Yep.
And see, the thing about objection handling is, objection handling works this way. It's not always about it's not about being pushy. Let me say that. Okay. It's not about being pushy. When you are handling objections, it's about providing information and providing options, right? A lot of times, objections are just options that people have not thought about. They haven't thought about this particular option on the table. We as realtors have to learn not to take options off the table, right?
Hmm.
So many realtors, I see them taking options off the table and try to make decisions for their clients. And for me, here at Chapman Realty Group, that's one of the quickest way to get off the team. We don't
Yeah.
decide for them. We give them options. We find a plethora of options for them, and we let them make their grown folks decision of what they want to do. But if we don't educate them, they can't.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, I truly believe, most people are going to make a good educated decision if they have the information in front of them.
That's it.
Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
And
Um,
sometimes they don't, and sometimes they're not gonna just go with what you say.
mhm.
Sometimes they have to read it for themselves. So that
Right.
that goes with the follow-up text or the follow-up email that you keep telling me you need to send an email. Did you text them? Did you did you send an email afterwards? So yeah, it,
Right.
it stays in my head. It's like Sasha's like talking to me.
Well, it's working because I see your numbers on your dials going up and everything like that. So the work is there. The pipeline is building, right?
Oh yes.
So you just have to keep your confidence up. So let me ask you this. What advice would you give a brand new realtor right now who was just getting the business and they were brand spanking new, just got their license? What advice would you give them?
I'd be like, get on a team. I mean, for
Continue.
real, get on a team because there's going to be resources there that you aren't going to have if you're not on a team. And like you said, some people are made up for a team, but you can miss a lot by not being on a team, not being exposed to a lot of stuff.
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
of course, you have the association, which has information, but you have to go to all those meetings to get that information. You can network there also. But being on a team ain't nothing like a team.
Right.
Like a team.
I will say this many, many times. You guys have helped me out to show how when I couldn't do it, and vice versa. And it's a good feeling. And let me tell you, I was a very anti-team person for the
Mhm.
longest, right? And now that I'm seeing you and Vaughn and how you guys are going, I'm like, man, I should have got on the team when I first started. but it saved me a lot of time and headache and money, and learning how to do this thing um, through a whole lot of trial and error. And trial
Mhm.
and error in real estate can be expensive.
Oh yes. I mean,
Yeah.
just looking at, the fees that you have to pay for your membership and,
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
get the Supra. And I was like, okay, the fees just keep coming, but I haven't made a deal yet. Like,
This could be an expensive hobby if you
you
let it
got
be.
you got to have a little reserve.
Ain't that the truth? All right. Well, thank you, Lisa, very much. We're going to wrap this whole thing up, guys.
All
If
right.
you all want to get in contact with Lisa Reed, here her information is going to be down below. Lisa, real quick, can you take us away and just say, if you're looking right in the mirror, right in the mirror, can Lisa, can you take us away and just talk to your potential future clients? What would you tell them? Why should they work with you? Ready and go.
I can't toot my own horn, but I'd have to say this: if you want a house, I'm not the person for you. But if you want a home, I can help you find one. So that's my deal. I want to help you find a place for you and your family, you and your pet, whatever it is. It's all about the comfort and safety of your own place. So can't find nobody better.